Hi, my name is Riley Allen. This is my review of Season 1, Episode 4 of The Walking Dead titled Vatos. So, this has two separate plot lines that kind of converge at the very end. We'll start with the city group, which is T-Dog, Glenn, Rick, and Daryl. They're all looking for Merle. We start off where it left off in the last episode, them on the roof. They track and them finding, Merle's cut off hand. There's kind of a little standoff where Daryl points his crossbow at T-Dog and Rick points his gun at Daryl. They all kind of cool down, put the guns down, and track Merle's blood. Then they eventually decide that they're gonna look for him, but first they're gonna get the guns first. So, shit hits the fan. Daryl kind of gets into a scuffle with this kid, and he calls for backup, and the backup beats the shit out of Daryl. They take the guns that Glenn got, and Glenn himself, and Rick, T-Dog, and Daryl take the kid, Miguel. He's not really a kid. Compared to them, though. They eventually find out where the Vatos are, because that's where the title comes from, the gang. And they kind of, have a trade-off. Like, the leader, Jorge, I think his name is, says, "We got your man, you got our guns." And Rick's like, "They ain't your guns, they're my guns. They were in the street, they're free play now," or whatever, So they said, "You can come with my guns and hand them over, or you can come locked and loaded." They decided to come locked and loaded. They also mentioned the guy, but They come locked and loaded, but right as the shootout's about to start, this old lady comes out and says, Mr. Gilbert needs his medicine, and begs Rick not to arrest her grandson, Felipe, who's one of the men. So, they go in and they find out that, this is a nursing home and the people there are protecting the old people. Rick decides to leave them some of the guns, which I kind of agree with Daryl. That's a dumbass decision. Anyways, they eventually go back to where they parked the van and it's stolen. And for some reason, Rick says it must have been Merle. I mean, Atlanta is admittedly a very big place, yes, and even though there's a lot of walkers, the Vatos prove that people can survive, so chances are that someone who isn't Merle found that van and fucked off to parts unknown, as they should. Then they make their way back to camp. Back at the camp, that's how we start the episode off, with Andrea and Amy fishing. They bring the fish home, back to camp. Andrea, it's mostly Andrea and Amy bonding, and this kind of starts, the good old trend of characters getting screen time before they die. Because that's basically what it was with Amy. Also, we had Jim, digging a bunch of holes. And, Dale, is like, I don't mean to scare anybody, but, I'm gonna scare everybody. Jim's digging some holes. And, I kind of understand. Personally, I guess I'm not a very good person. I'd just let Jim dig his holes and get the heat stroke. I mean, I understand why they tied him to that tree, because it was for his safety and all that. Good old Georgia heat. But I didn't really like that Lori said, "You're scaring the kids." And I'm just like, they didn't really look that scared. So, I mean, that was just like, We get some Jim backstory, like the only reason he's still alive is because the walkers were too busy eating his family. We have Andrea worrying about, wrapping her sister's birthday present. We have We have Ed being a douche trying to Sophia, I think her name is. Yeah, I think her name is Sophia. From going to eat, and Carol kind of puts her foot down like she wants to eat with the rest of them, so she'll go. We have a big old campfire. We kind of... And shit hits the fan. The walkers come, kill Amy, and I'm calling this the episode, this little thing, the thinning of the red shirts, because that's basically what it is. Besides Amy and Jim, who we later find out is Bit, the only other characters who died were the background characters in camp, who were meant to really fill out camp to make it actually seem like a good little, you know, survival hideout, I guess. Rick, Daryl, Glenn, and T-Dog come out at the ass end, you know. Also, Jim mentioned he was digging the holes because he had a dream, and this jackass, after the battle, says, you know, I think I remember what my dream was about. Dude, keep that shit to yourself. Overall, this wasn't exactly my favorite episode of Season 1, but it wasn't bad, so I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.